right, students, I've been looking at this all day and I'm just thinking, hey, I think we can do better. And by better, let's just add some things in this to make it stand out even more. So, clean brush. Look at this palette. Someone tried to clean it off. I appreciate that. They put everything back. Love that. So, just take some water, clean water, prime that black up again. Just put a little over here. Take some of my water, add it in to dilute it. We're looking at these people, right? There's not much detail. Well, guess what? Now we got all this in, we can start adding detail just by allowing this to be dry and working on it. And by adding these darker areas, this is going to give more contrast and it's going to start building this out. So sometimes when you're working on watercolors, you might have to let things dry. And that means stepping away from them for a little bit and then coming back. If you're an artist, this is a great way to go make a cup of tea, go take a shower, read a book, go to the bank, whatever you need to do, and come back and you can do this. You could drop your kids off at school and then come back and paint, and you can add another layer and it starts pulling things out. We can add some detail, like those glasses of this guy have disappeared. So we can just add some dark areas and the guy's got glasses. We can go back and put a mouth on him. It starts standing out. This is sort of why we want to keep our brushes with a point on it so that you can paint with just the point of the work. You can also make the sides on the left side of things darker and pull it over. So then it looks like it's transitioning from dark to light. Just pulling them over. You can blend it out. You can take some clean water and blend it if any of the lines are too dark or too heavy and it makes the illusion not look right. We can also do this with a clean brush for this person in blue, right? Take some clean water, activate a blue of your choosing, and then going back in and just making the things furthest away from the sun darker, because things that are further away from the sun usually have shadow on them. And we can put this in. And as we add these darker shadows, it's going to give us dimension and contrast in our work. So just going back sometimes and letting the work sit for a while can be productive for your work as an artist. Sometimes also, some students have found out, one student, they realized that they were looking really close at their work the other day. And when they were looking close at their work, they couldn't see the whole picture. And students came walking up behind them and they're like, oh, that looks so cool. That looks great. And they couldn't see how great their stuff was because they were just spent too long looking at it. You can also have a cast shadow over here. Put some space in here for the backpack. Maybe the tassels have some more. Maybe there's some tassels there flowing in the wind. But you can see just by adding some dark area, it starts giving us some contrast, and that contrast gives us depth within our work. And we can do this for all these people just with a clean brush, just going back and finding areas that need to be a little bit darker and putting it in, and we can see these people sort of pop off the page a little bit more. Contrast is what does that. It allows us to give us a leg that's in front of another leg, right? It's a darker one versus a lighter one to show distance. We can do the same with the pink of that person. I think I was using this pink before. We can go back and we can add eyes for the pink of the person just by making it darker, or a face. We could give them more definition. These type of things so they're not just ghosts of people standing around. We can start putting details in. For example, this dress, if I wanted to go in with black and I just used the tip of the brush, and I can even take my brush and spin it to make a little point there. I don't know if you can see that little point. And now I could go in and do little details within her dress, or their dress, because Dresses are for anybody who wants to wear them. Remember, clothing are just a function, a tool of keeping us warm or cool, depending on the weather, and for us to help identify the things that we like and to give us style and help us dress up for occasions, to make fancy moments in our life, or to be comfortable, or to show what teams we support, or to show that we like a certain brand, right? They're just things. They're just items of fabric. And so we can just put these things in. If you let this dry, you can go then and put in more detail in. You can put and layer these colors and these tones on top of each other, and you can make a layer there that really shows some distance. Now, if they're light, like this one's a little wet right here, and so if I go put this black on it, it might run a little bit, but if it's dry enough, I can put in little pieces of pigment to help the illusion that there's a face there, right? And so those are just little things that you can do within your artwork while you're working. You can build these layers of dark tones on top of other tones you've already done. And if the sun's over here, further away from your person or the thing you're drawing, then the dark areas are going to be closer to you. Now, if the sun was closer to me, then the dark sides would be going that way. And we'd have bright people, and then we have some shadows. And we can work on that too. We can work on that. Let me clean off my brush. This got some blue in it. I don't want blue in there. So I'm going to just take a dry paper towel, pat it off. And there it is. So, as you're playing around with this, please play around and add it. Remember, you are doing 7 different people on a new sheet of paper. That is what you're doing after this. So if you have not started those 7 people, please do, so that you know what's going on. Because I think some of you might not be listening to the videos and you might have missed some steps. And so you might have turned this in already without knowing that there's more to do. And so I'm making this video to show you a few things that I thought about while I was working today in the classroom. And I was seeing this in the classroom. And the things I was like, oh, we can really make this stand out more. We can really make this look more interesting. So that is what you're doing with this. Take these ideas. Remember, you're going to another piece of paper, and then you're going to start making your 7 people. I'm going to make mine, and I'm going to do it in time lapse. Yours should not look like mine. Yours should look completely different. So please do that. And while I'm working, you can see the things I'm doing, and you can either steal those things and put them in different areas. I don't really care. But what I want you to do is be working the whole time and coming up with your ideas of creating a scene. Remember, the sun's on this side, and so the shadows will be coming towards us down to this way. So the shadows are going to go this way, and I'm going to put in seven different people in here, and then I'm going to make a scene with the background. That is what I'm doing, and you're going to do it too. So good luck.